traveled to Costa Rica to celebrate her birthday. A luxury resort. A dream vacation, but one night before flying home, Carla Stefaniak disappeared. What happened next exposed a brutal truth hidden behind paradise. Stay with me till the end. Subscribe for real true crime stories that expose the truth behind perfect places. Carla Stefaniak was a 35-year-old Venezuelan-born woman living in Hallandale Beach, Miami, Florida. The people who knew her, Carla, was impossible to ignore. She had an adventurous spirit, a loud laugh, and a vibrant personality that filled every room she walked into. She wasn't just present, she was unforgettable. Carla loved to travel and often shared her journeys through travel vlogs, capturing moments of excitement, freedom, and joy. Exploring new places made her feel alive, and she approached life with confidence and independence. Friends described her as fearless, outgoing, and always ready for the next adventure. Family meant everything to her. She was especially close to her sister-in-law, who later became one of the strongest voices fighting for justice in Carla's case. Their bond was deep, built on trust, love, and constant communication. In Florida, Carla worked at an insurance agency and was known as responsible and hardworking. She balanced her professional life with her passion for travel, fitness, and experiencing the world. Carla believed in living fully and boldly, a belief that tragically placed her in the wrong place at the wrong time. Carla Stefaniak was more than a victim. She was a daughter, a sister, a traveler, and a woman who loved life. To celebrate her 36th birthday, Carla Stefaniak planned a special trip to Costa Rica with her sister-in-law, April. The vacation was meant to be a joyful escape, a chance to relax, explore, and create memories together. For Carla, travel was more than a hobby. It was how she celebrated life. During the trip, the two women stayed in multiple hotels, moving between locations as they explored different parts of the country. Everything about the vacation felt peaceful and well-planned. There were no signs of danger, no warning that anything could go wrong. For the final night, they booked an Airbnb at Villa Lamas in Escazú, a quiet, upscale area in the mountains near San Jose. The property was a beautiful gated complex, surrounded by greenery and designed to feel safe and private. It featured on-site security guards, controlled entry points, and a swimming pool, the kind of place travelers trust without question. To Carla and April, Villa Lamas felt like the perfect place to end the trip. A secure environment, a comfortable stay, a peaceful final night before heading home. But behind the calm setting and guarded gates, something far darker was waiting. As the trip moved toward its final days, Carla and April made the most of their time in Costa Rica. They visited beautiful beaches, relaxed in hot springs, and explored local restaurants, enjoying the culture and energy of the country. Carla appeared happy and carefree, fully immersed in the experience she loved so much. On November 25th, Carla posted a photo by the pool, smiling, relaxed, and unaware that it would be one of the last images she ever shared. There were no signs of fear or distress. Everything about the trip still felt normal. April's return flight was scheduled one day earlier than Carla's. The plan was simple: April would head home first, and Carla would spend one final night alone before flying back the next day. It didn't seem unusual. Carla was confident, independent, and used to traveling solo. On the morning of November 27th, April flew home at 11:30 a.m., saying goodbye to Carla with no reason to believe it would be their final farewell. Later that day, Carla booked an Uber and paid in cash for a city tour around San Jose. She shopped for souvenirs, buying jewelry and a purse, small reminders of a trip she clearly planned to remember. By evening, Carla returned to her Airbnb. She had plans to go out to a jazz cafe that night, hoping to enjoy one last peaceful moment before her flight home. But as night fell, a violent tropical storm swept through the area, changing everything. It would be the last day Carla Stefaniak was ever seen alive. That night, the atmosphere at Villa Lamas began to feel unsettling. A violent tropical storm moved through the area, and the power went out multiple times, plunging the gated complex into darkness. Alone in the Airbnb, Carla started to feel uneasy. She began texting her family, describing the situation in chilling terms. "Super sketchy," she wrote. "Creepy AF." To reassure herself, Carla FaceTimed a friend. During the call, she mentioned that she was thirsty and needed water. With the storm worsening and the lights still flickering, she decided she would step outside and ask the security guard for water, someone she believed she could trust. At around 9 p.m., Carla's phone died. That moment marked her last known communication with anyone. No more texts, no more calls, nothing. The next morning, Carla failed to appear for her scheduled Uber pickup at 8:30 a.m. A major red flag for someone known to be responsible and punctual. her phone remained off, and there was no activity on WhatsApp or social media. Security at the complex claimed Carla had already left. A guard told investigators that she departed around 5 a.m., carrying her luggage. But nothing supported that claim. There was no record of her arriving at the airport. No messages sent to family. No digital trace of movement. Almost immediately, Carla's family knew something was wrong. This wasn't like her, and they feared the worst. When Carla Stefaniak didn't return or respond, her family immediately raised the alarm. But the Costa Rican police insisted they could not file an official missing person report for 48 hours, a delay that added to the family's fear and frustration. Refusing to wait, the family sprang into action. They created a massive group chat to coordinate efforts, contacting anyone who might help locate Carla. They reached out to local media, hoping coverage would pressure authorities to act quickly. They contacted Airbnb for information about the villa and its bookings. Most importantly, they contacted the U.S. Embassy and the FBI, asking for international assistance in the search for Carla. Every minute mattered. Each hour felt like an eternity. With no word from the authorities, the family knew they had to take matters into their own hands. When investigators finally gained access to the Airbnb villa, the scene told a chilling story. The property had already been cleaned with bleach and vinegar, and new tourists had checked in, unknowingly entering a crime scene. Inside the villa, forensic teams found traces of Carla's blood, semen, and other signs of a violent struggle. Her phone had never left the property, indicating she never left voluntarily. The evidence painted a clear and horrifying picture. Carla had been attacked inside the villa. The cleaning attempts may have destroyed some evidence, but enough remained to confirm a crime had taken place. It was no accident that it was murder. 6 days after Carla Stefaniak disappeared, search teams finally uncovered a chilling sight. Sniffer dogs led authorities to a partially buried body, hidden under plastic sheeting, just 300 meters from the Airbnb where she had last been seen alive. The location was close enough to suggest she never left the property on her own, but remote enough that the crime could initially go unnoticed. When the body was recovered, investigators immediately began the painstaking work of identification. Forensic experts confirmed what Carla's family had feared: the body was indeed Carla Stefaniak. The discovery sent shockwaves through the community and made international headlines. A vacation meant to celebrate life had ended in unimaginable tragedy. The autopsy revealed a brutal and violent attack. Carla had suffered multiple stab wounds, indicating a sustained assault. Her neck was broken, her jaw dislocated, and 2 vertebrae were fractured, clear evidence of extreme force and struggle. Forensic experts concluded that the attack was deliberate and aggressive, showing signs of personal violence rather than a random act. Based on the injuries and evidence at the scene, it is likely that Carla died around 10 p.m. On November 27, the same night her phone died and her last communications were sent. Every detail, the stab wounds, broken bones, and dislocated jaw, told the story of a terrifying and violent encounter. What had seemed like a peaceful vacation night had been transformed into a fatal crime. As investigators pieced together the evidence, one name quickly emerged: Bismar Espinoza Martinez, a 32-year-old Nicaraguan man who worked as a security guard at the Airbnb complex. Martinez lived next door to Carla's villa, giving him easy access to the property and all its rooms. During interviews, he presented inconsistent stories about the night of Carla's disappearance. Physical examinations revealed scratches on his arms, hinting at a struggle. Most damning of all, DNA found under Carla's fingernails matched Martinez, evidence that linked him directly to the attack. Authorities also learned that Martinez had confessed the crime to his wife shortly after the murder, further confirming his involvement. Every piece of evidence painted the picture of someone who exploited his position of trust to commit a horrific crime. Martinez was arrested and initially charged with simple homicide, the equivalent of second-degree murder. As the investigation progressed and the brutal nature of the crime became clear, charges were later upgraded to first-degree murder. Costa Rica's judicial system does not use juries. Instead, professional judges determine the verdict. During the trial, evidence including DNA, witness testimony, and Martinez's inconsistent statements was presented. Ultimately, the court convicted him of simple homicide, not first-degree murder. He was sentenced to 16 years in prison. While justice was served through conviction, the sentence left many feeling that the brutality of Carla's murder deserved even harsher consequences. The case remains a stark reminder of how trust can be violated, even in places considered safe. even after the arrest of Bismar Espinoza Martinez, Carla Stefaniak's family couldn't shake a disturbing suspicion. They believed more than one person may have been involved in her murder. Their concerns were based on several factors. The body had been partially buried and hidden, suggesting careful planning. The villa had been cleaned with bleach and vinegar, erasing potential evidence. Items within the property had been moved, hinting at knowledge and coordination beyond a single individual. Despite these signs, no other arrests were ever made. Investigators never publicly confirmed the presence of accomplices, but for the family, unanswered questions remained. The idea that someone else could have assisted even indirectly added another layer of anguish to an already devastating tragedy. Carla's family also took legal action against Airbnb and the Villa Llamas property. The lawsuit accused the companies of multiple failures. They claimed Airbnb allowed an unvetted employee to work as a security guard, failed to conduct proper background checks, and provided the guard with a passkey granting access to all rooms. The family also argued that the property sanitized negative reviews, potentially hiding previous concerns about safety. In the aftermath, Airbnb removed the listing entirely. The Costa Rican court awarded the family approximately $50,000 in damages. While the outcome of the separate U.S. lawsuit remains private, the case brought attention to the responsibilities of vacation rental platforms in ensuring guest safety. Carla Stefaniak's death was not only a personal tragedy but also a stark reminder of how systemic failures can put lives at risk even in places meant to feel safe and secure. Carla Stefaniak's tragic death reverberated far beyond Costa Rica. Her story became a cautionary tale for travelers worldwide, highlighting serious safety gaps in vacation rentals and the vulnerabilities tourists often face. The case exposed weaknesses in employee screening, showing how easy it was for a dangerous individual to gain access to guests' private spaces. It underscored the importance of vigilance, even in places designed to feel safe, and reminded travelers to always prioritize personal security. Carla's story spread globally, resonating with people who could relate to her love of travel and sense of adventure. Her life, vibrant and full of energy, became a symbol of why awareness matters and why safety cannot be assumed, even in paradise. Her family continues advocating for travel safety, using Carla's story to push for stricter background checks, better oversight, and stronger accountability from rental platforms and hospitality services. Their fight ensures that Carla's memory serves a purpose, protecting future travelers from a similar fate. Carla Stefaniak's story is a tragic reminder that danger can exist even in places we trust. Stay alert, stay safe. Subscribe for real true crime stories that uncover the truth. Like and share to honor Carla's memory and raise awareness about travel safety. Every click helps keep victims from being forgotten and spreads awareness to prevent future tragedies.